Hi, I'm Blake Bettner, Managing Editor of Worn & Wound.
And I'm Zach Weiss, co-founder of Worn & Wound.
Today, we're talking about the Timex Giorgio Galli S1. Before we get started, if you find this video enjoyable or informative, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. This is a watch that has existed in a larger size for a couple of years now. They just released it relatively recently in a 38 millimeter case.
Down from 41.
Down from 41, and wow, this watch makes quite an impression right at a glance. It's a pretty good price point. It's under $500. B, the design is just spot on. Giorgio Galli design, obviously. The design brief was making the most Timex ever made. I'm not sure what that means. Do you have any idea there?
No, not quite. You know, Timex, I'm going to mess up their slogan, their famous slogan, like the watch that keeps ticking or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. But they are, I don't know what the most Timex really means, but I think what's interesting is in that brief, he sort of ended up creating something entirely new for Timex, which is a sort of a premium line for Timex, which, at $450 is, probably around twice the price of like a normally more expensive Timex. Automatic, using a Japanese movement, a Miyota in there. This version, the 38, also has a sapphire crystal, which was one of the complaints about the 41 millimeter when it came out. People just wanted the sapphire on there. So, they've really created a look and feel luxurious watch at a $450 price point,
And it is, it's beautiful.
It is.
There's an elegance to it. There's a simplicity, and I feel like with simple watches, you can't get anything wrong. And this does a lot of things right. I particularly enjoy the case here, and I understand this is injection molded.
Yeah, it's
steel.
Injection molded metal.
It's incredible, and so it feels way more premium in the hand than. Well, a lot of different sub $500 watches that I can think of. And then the dial has, I guess it's one of the rubies. I'm assuming there's a gear set.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a functional. Probably not. Maybe that's more of an indicator of mechanical.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little touch to have the little jewel on the dial rather than saying automatic.
Yeah.
I kind of recently find myself more annoyed by words on dials. So this says automatic without saying automatic. Tell me you're an automatic without telling me.
Yeah, exactly. So there's nothing. It's a pretty sterile dial. Beautiful execution on the hands and the hour indices, and then the minute hashes. It's kind of like a recession in the dial. So there's a lot of kind of fun details about this watch to discover, including the finishing here. Right from
finishing
the top down, it
breathtaking.
looks it's just a fully brushed, but it's not.
And that's part of what was so interesting, I think, about the mid case being injection molded, because they wanted to do this complicated case design where you have essentially slots cut through this outer flank, which shows like an inner sort of core, and then is finished as well. So there's beveling on all of it and brushing. It's very complicated looking, but to do that all with multi-axis CNC machining would be a very expensive process. So the liquid injection, I think, gets you most of the way there, and then there's some kind of finishing afterwards. So it's sort of a clever use of a newer manufacturing method to get a much higher end finish at an affordable price.
Yeah, it really is, and it comes through. You can see straight through the lug. It's like a flying buttress style lug thing that they have going on here.
And there's no dead angle on it. You look at it from any position, and there's some visual interest.
Yeah, there's something interesting there. The strap is also an interesting part of this watch. It's a little unusual, and frankly, the first time I put this, where I had this in my hand, it took a little.
You didn't get
How
it.
does this work? How am I gonna situate this?
Yeah.
So it's a rubber strap that has a part that sits into a recession in the actual strap itself. So you can fine tune.
Well, and you can get rid of the tail, right? So that's what I think is so nice of it. So if you set it, I think technically you go through that side, so you have a little. That's the container, and then you push in, and then when it's on your wrist, you have no tail flapping around.
Beautiful. It's a lovely solution there.
Yeah. And they have them in a few other colors. I believe they sell separately. So if you don't just want black or whatever, there's some olives and things like that.
And there are, this is a gray dial, there is a blue dial, and a green dial.
Yeah. Is this the gray or is this the green? I honestly am not unsure.
I believe it's the gray dial. So our editor, Zach Kazan, just recently interviewed Giorgio Galli about this watch. We have that live on Worn and Wound right now. You can go check that out. We'll have it linked down in the comments below. I think we need to spend some more time with this watch.
Yeah, this is like, it's one of those watches when you see it, you're immediately like, I want to put that on my wrist, and I want to wear it. I just checked out Timex's website, and there's currently a wait list, so apparently we were not the only people who felt that way.
It's been popular, which is great. And hopefully we'll see more kind of in this design language. I would love to see how they can push this, where they can take it.
Clearly, this is the S1, so logically there will be a 2 at some point.
I think there's plenty of room there
they can go
from 1
forever.
And that is the Timex Giorgio Galli S1. For more on this watch and more content like this, head to wornandwound.com.